Hey guys, welcome back to the core data project. Let's just have a quick look at what we did last time. We added the ability to save a date into core data, and we're also displaying that date in the custom cell. So today I want to expand on this screen a little bit more. I want to add a image view in here so we can add photos and save them into core data as well. So it's just gonna sit just above the name and the enter your team name text field. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so let's just have a look what we need to do. Let's just run this project once more, and we can see whereabouts and we're going to add this image. So let's click on add, and so yeah, we just want it just to sit below that label there, just above the name label and the text field. So we'll do this like we've done before. We've just added a closure constructed. So we'll create a variable called add image, and it's going to be of type image view, and it's just going to be an empty closure constructed like we've done before, which is just a wrapper for all our UI image view stuff. So let image equal to UI image, and it's going to be also what I've done, I've included a link in the description of the video for all the assets. So if you click on the link, it'll take you to my website. You'll be able to download them, and you just need to drag them into the assets folder in Xcode, just on the left hand side. So if you drag them all in, you'll have access to all the assets we're going to be using in the course. So that link is available in the description, so if you just go ahead and do that now. I've already done that, so the images are available for me. So once we do that, we can have access to an image. So that should be called, we should have an image literal. Let's have a look. And this is not correct. Should be an image view. So let image equals UI image view, and then just choose image. And then if you just start typing image literal, you'll see it below. And then you can double click into here and have access to all the assets you've got in your project. Now it is a little bit buggy, so sometimes you've got to click it a few times just to get access to your pictures, but I've gone ahead and done that. So as you can see, there's a little camera in there, so that's fine. So now you just say, as usual, image.translate auto masks equals false. And we also want to say is user interaction enabled equals true, because the way we're going to do it, we're going to set this up via a tap gesture. So we need a user to be able to click on the actual picture and have access to the handler function, which we're going to create shortly. So go ahead and create an image gesture as well. So add gesture recognizer, and we're going to set the target to self, and like we've done before, we're going to set a selector function. So we're going to call this handle selected photo. That's fine. So we can just copy that because we're going to need that in a second. We're going to create a file private function from that. So we just go ahead and return the image. And then what we'll do, we just scroll down, let's see where we can add this. So I think what we'll do, this is where we're going to add our image view actually. So let's do that now while we're here. So just above the name label in setup UI, let's go ahead and add a view.add subview. Don't actually have access to that. Add image. There we go. It's called add image. So view.add image. And then we're going to do like we've done before. We're going to put some constraints on this. So if you think about where this needs to be, there's going to be a top anchor, which is going to be equal to the views safe area. So it's not coming up. view.safe-area layout guide dot top anchor, and then just go ahead and activate that. So is active equals true. Then we're going to need, when you think about what we need, we're going to need some kind of, maybe a width and a height for the actual image itself. So let's go ahead and do that. So add image.heightAnchor.constraint, and we'll just give it a constant of 100. That'll be fine, and then just activate that as well. So it's going to need a width anchor. So add image.widthAnchor.constraint, and we'll just say that 100 as well. Set that to 100. Is active equals true. And then we just want to center this on the x axis. So use the center x anchor.constraint. So that will put that right in the center of the view. So view.center x anchor dot is active equals true. So this should show up. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be correct just yet, because there's a couple of modifications that we'll need to make in order to get this exactly where we want it. But we got fail. Let's have a look what that's failing. If it'll let me click on it. Yeah, so we need to create the handler function as well, because it's obviously complaining because it can't find it. So we'll do that below create team. So as usual, Objective C, prefix, file private func, and handle selected photo, and then let's just put a print test statement in there just to validate the tap. So that should be fine. So test photo button pressed. So now if we run that, we're going to see, we should see the camera image, but I don't think it's going to be exactly where we need it to be. So let's just see how we can change this. So as you can see, it's in the center, but we need the name label and the text field below the image. So there's an easy fix for that. We can just constrain the name label and the text field below the actual image itself. So let's go back down to setup UI and let's have a look. So the name label, if we have a look where the top anchor is for the name label, it's actually the view.safe-area guide. If we actually change that to the image rather than the safe area guide, that should just bump it down a little, just enough to appear below the image. So we need to do that for the text field as well. So let's change that. So instead of the view.safe-area guide, let's change the name label's top anchor to add image.bottom anchor, because obviously it's going to the bottom of the image. And if you just run that, this will give you a better idea of what I mean. So as you can see, the name label is shifted down, but the text field hasn't. So we need to do the same for the. So if we come inside setup UI again, the name text field subview, we can actually just constrain this to the top of the name label because we've already set the name label. So we can just go ahead and say top anchor dot constraint is equal to the name label's top anchor, because that's already set. So we can just match it up with the name label. So if the name label moves, the text field will move as well. So that's nice. That's what we want. Everything's looking a little bit squashed though, so there's a couple more little changes that we need. So if we just make a little bit more space at the top, just to shift that camera down a little bit. So we'll just put a constant in on the add image top anchor. A constant of 8 should do it. So if we look, we've just shifted that down a little bit as well. So the name label and text field will move. So slowly coming together. And let's have a look what else we can do. So that light red background isn't big enough, so we can just make that 350. So let's run again. It's important to keep running your builds just to make sure the changes that you're making are actually taking effect for one, and obviously you're not messing anything up in your UI. So that all looks fine. The camera and image though, we can set something called the content mode, because it's looking a bit squashed. So if you come up to your add image, UI image view, we can just set something called the image.content mode, and you can use whatever you like. I like to use aspect fit, so scale.ax, something like, it's not right. Not sure why that's. Image.content mode equals .scale aspect fit. That should be fine. And let's just run that again. And yeah, that image is looking a bit better, as you can see. So that's great. It's definitely a good start. There's a couple more things that we can do. One thing as well we do need to change, on the actual image view that we've created it as a var, and the problem that we have, we're trying to access this before it's actually initialized. So everything in Swift, before you can use it, needs to be initialized, and we're actually trying to implement a tap feature before it's actually initialized. So in order to get around this, we have to prefix it with something called lazy. Now that tap will now work, whereas it didn't before. Now what lazy allows you to do, everything in Swift needs to be initialized before you can use it, but if you prefix it with the lazy name, basically this variable doesn't actually initialize until somebody tries to use it. So it actually counts as already being initialized, even though it's not, by using the lazy prefix. So which is a way around our problem. As you can see, that now works. It does have a few restrictions. I won't go into everything, but for instance, you couldn't have a did set, and there's no property observers. But yeah, that gets around the issue. So that test is now working. So what we need to do now, we just need to include some delegates. So we need the UI navigation controller delegate. So go ahead and add that in the create team controller view controller. So it's just a comma, and then we also need the UI image picker controller delegate as well. So with those delegates now included in the project, we should have access to the image picker controller. So let's just create a reference to it. So let image picker controller equals UI image picker controller, and there it is. So then we can just say image picker controller. We need to set the delegate, obviously, because we're using it. And then image picker controller. We also want to do allows editing, because we want to be able to modify the photos once we've selected one. And then we also need to present it. So just say present image picker controller animated true. And we're not interested in the completion block of nil. So if we go ahead and run that, so what we'll see, we will see the controller come up. So once we click on the test photo button press, so we've got confirmation that it's working. But as you can see, we haven't really got the formatting that we're after, and that's because our custom navigation is only for the navigation bar that we've actually created. It doesn't actually filter through to any of Swift's navigation controllers. So what we can do, we can the best way around this is actually to head over to our custom setup navbar style and just copy basically everything that we've done. So right from after navigation bar, I think you can hold the option key to do that. I haven't actually got a Mac keyboard. And then just paste that into app delegate, and then just above that just type in UI navigation bar dot appearance. And now what we're going to do is just copy what we've just typed and then prefix everything that we've pasted in. So UI navigation bar, appearance, and then just get rid of that at the top. So what we're doing, we're basically setting our style throughout the project now, no matter what. So that includes all of Swift's navigation controllers as well. Whereas previously it was only our custom ones. So now what we'll see, if we click on add, and there we go. So our formatting is back. Again, we've lost at the top there. We need that to be white. So again, we created a custom navigation like content. We need to do that throughout. So what we might as well do is just above, just create an extension of UI navigation controller, and basically we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to set the preferred status bar style, and we're going to go ahead and set that to like content. So status bar style, and then just return light content. So now when we run the app, we'll see that it looks how it should do. It's got our nice formatting that we've been using, and there's a couple of ways you can do this. I mean, this was just the quickest way. That gets us what we need. So now if we come back to create team controller, so we're not quite done just yet. We need to implement another delegate function, which is called, it's kind of a long one, did finish picking media with info. And then in here what we're going to do, we're going to set the two types of images that we're going to be actually choosing. So if we think about what we need, we want to have an option to edit a photo, and we also want to keep the original image as well. So there's a quick way of doing this. It's just having a problem with my format, and I'm just trying to get that how I need. So what we can say if let. So if we're in editing mode, so we can say if let edited image is equal to info, and this is basically just a dictionary. This is part of the delegate function, and then you just say UI image picker controller dot info key dot edited image, and then we need to cast that as a UI image, and then brace, and then we just need to say our image that we've added. So add image dot image is equal to the edited image. Otherwise, just go ahead and return the original image. So we just say else if let the original image is equal to, you guessed it, same as above. So we just copy and paste that, and then we can just change the edited image to original image, and again we have to cast it. And then we can just say add image dot image equal to the original image, and it's complaining, not sure why. Let's just build that, and just do another build. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. It was just complaining. Just Xcode can be a little bit buggy sometimes. So then once we're done, so once we've chosen the image, whether it be an original image or the edited image, we need to go ahead and just dismiss, because we don't want to stay in the actual image picker. We actually want to come out. So we can just say, yeah, I'm just having some formatting issues, so I'm just gonna re-indent that. I think it's just because I'm recording on the screen, it's just not fitting, but that's fine. So below that we just need to say dismiss, and then we could just say animated true, and again a completion block of nil. So that should be fine. So let's go ahead and run that. And that should give us some kind of image. Let's have a look. So we can click on that. We can choose one. And yeah, so there we go. So it is actually storing for us. So that's pretty much what we wanted to do in this video. I mean, we will in the next video then we'll look at saving the image and obviously adding a nice border. We'll add some corner radius as well, just to make it circular. But yeah, that should be everything for today. So yeah, next video we're going to be able to actually save those images into core data. Well done guys, another video down, and we've added the ability to choose a photo. So now what we need to do in the next video, we need to be able to save that photo into core data. So we'll do that by adding into our model just an image data file or image data option, and we're going to be saving that as binary data. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, or reach out on Instagram or Twitter. I'm usually available. But until then, just keep coding, and I'll see you in the next video.